The night of September 11th, 2012, began like many others in Benghazi, Libya. The desert air was thick and heavy. Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens, a man dedicated to building bridges in a volatile region, was concluding a meeting. He had come to this troubled nation to foster hope and progress. He would never leave. Unbeknownst to Stevens and the small American team at the US Special Mission, a storm was brewing. Across the city, heavily armed militants were mobilizing. They were driven by a hatred that festered in the shadows, fueled by anti-American sentiment. Their target, the American diplomatic compound, a symbol of the very ideals they despised. The attackers, a heavily armed mob, descended upon the compound with brutal force. Gunfire erupted, shattering the night. Rockets slammed into buildings, engulfing the compound in flames. The small contingent of American security personnel, vastly outnumbered and outgunned, found themselves in a desperate battle for survival. Among them were former Navy SEALs Tyrone and Glen Doherty. They were members of a small CIA security team stationed nearby. They would become true heroes that night. They risked their lives to defend their fellow Americans against overwhelming odds. The attackers stormed the compound gates with a ferocity that shocked the world. They were armed with AK-47S, rocket-propelled grenades and mortars. The small American security team, armed with only small arms, fought back with incredible courage. They knew the stakes. They were protecting American lives and American values. The attackers moved with chilling precision, their faces hidden behind masks of hatred. They poured into the compound, their AK-47S blazing. Ambassador Stevens, trapped in his quarters, desperately sought refuge. He and Foreign Service Information Management Officer Sean Smith choked on the thick smoke that filled the air. The compound was quickly becoming an inferno. Flames danced across rooftops, consuming everything in their path. The air was thick with the acrid smell of smoke and the deafening sounds of gunfire and explosions. Yet amidst the chaos, the American defenders held their ground. They fought with unwavering courage, knowing that every second counted. As the attack raged on, a small group of American and Libyan security personnel fought desperately to defend the compound. They knew that reinforcements were hours away and that their survival depended on their own courage and skill. The attackers were relentless. They pressed their assault from all sides, their gunfire echoing through the night. The defenders, outnumbered and outgunned, fought back with every ounce of strength they could muster. They knew that the lives of their fellow Americans depended on their actions. Time and time again, the defenders repelled the attackers' advances. They fought with a ferocity born of desperation and a deep sense of duty. They knew the risks, but they never faltered in their commitment to protect their comrades. The attackers, sensing the defenders' resolve, resorted to even more desperate measures. Section 4. The Annex under fire. A second wave of violence. As dawn approached, the attackers shifted their focus to a nearby CIA annex, a lightly defended facility where a small team of American security personnel had gathered. Among them were former Navy SEALs Tyrone and Glen Doherty, who had fought valiantly throughout the night. The attackers unleashed a barrage of mortar fire on the annex, their shells raining down with deadly accuracy. Tyrone and Glen Doherty, true heroes to the end, fought back with unwavering courage. But they were ultimately overwhelmed by the attackers' ferocity. They made the ultimate sacrifice, giving their lives to protect their fellow Americans. The attack on the annex was a stark reminder of the dangers faced by those who serve their country overseas. It was a testament to the bravery and selflessness of those who put their lives on the line to defend American interests around the world. The attack sent shockwaves through the American government and the intelligence community, raising serious questions about security lapses and the adequacy of protection for American personnel in dangerous regions.